Now I would like to welcome the session chairman to head our final session, Shri Sanjeev Kumar Gautam, Director, SFAC, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, Shri Ranjit Prakash, National Project Coordinator, ILO for South Asia, Ms. Anuradha Singhai, Executive Director, CEDMAP, Government of Madhya Pradesh, Shri Manish Shankar, Director, Palladium Consulting, Shri Prakash Bapurao Puppalwar, farmer from Maharashtra. Now I request Pooja to honor our guests. Shri Sanjeev Kumar Gautam, Shri Ranjit Prakash, Ms. Anuradha, Shri Manish Shankar, Shri Prakash Bapurao Puppalwar.
आप लोग शायद सोच रहे होंगे कि चाय का समय था, अभी ये बैठा दिया। तो चूँकि लंच हम लोगों ने थोड़ा लेट किया था, इसलिए वी टुक दिस लिबर्टी। हमारे जो गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर श्री संजय कुमार झा जी, ही विल बी हियर। सो विल बिफोर द अवार्ड सेरेमनी विल ट्राई एंड रैप अप दिस सेशन एज वेल एज टी, and then we'll resume sharp at 5:30 and then wrap up in 6. You can all go. I request Siddharth Mishra sir to please come on the front. Yes.
Now I request our session chairman to kindly start the session.
Good evening, everyone. I'm actually really delighted to be part of this session and honored to be here. The topic given to our panel is farming for profit and connecting farms to fair market. I mean, this is the bottom line of all the exercises we are doing, right? There are two words I would like to draw your attention to, although there is no need to. One is profit and another is fair, right? Profit, by profit, when we talk about profit, normally it's in the, what should I say? Normally it is associated with business. When people enter into commercial transactions, then the question of profit and loss arises. But when we take agriculture as a business or a remunerative occupation, I think, and I believe most of you will agree with me, this is the riskiest business one undertakes. Simple reason is, when you get into a business, you know how much you are going to produce, what is the market for it, what price you are going to get. But in agriculture, it's all uncertain. You don't know how much would be the production, what would be the price you would be getting, and whether there would be actually a market or not. There have been instances where everyone knows that the cost of taking the produce to the market is much higher than the actual price which is going to wait for the produce. India, I mean, in India, it's not just an occupation; it is way of life. Agriculture. People are defined by that. They identify themselves as farmer, and proudly so. But the irony is, they are struggling to meet their basic needs, and that is where I think our session, I believe, is going to be very insightful with experts which we have on the panel. So before, I think I need to go there and sit there and then drive the session. So I would go there and just. We have got Mr. Ranjit Prakash with us from ILO. He is the national coordinator for SAW, that is setting for adequate wages. So though the area I believe which he looks into is very broad, but here we are talking specifically about the agriculture sector. So sir, if we can have your views on this, how do we kind of ensure that the farmers, I mean there is a lot of talk about doubling the income of the farmers, then there is this CACP formula also of 50% plus, well, cost plus 50%. But since you have been working in this field and you have got international exposure also on this, so how would you, describe the scenario in India, and what are the steps which we need to take to, ensure that farmers are also, like in any other sector, minimum wages is the norm. So farmers are also getting their minimum wages for the hard work they are putting in.
Thank you very much for this question. But first of all, good evening, everyone. And I take this opportunity to extend my thanks to Dr. Anand, who is the director, Grey Matters, for inviting me for this very timely conference on sustainability in agriculture sector. I have been listening to various experts since the morning, and what I realized that, different experiences, understandings, and thought processes on agriculture sustainability already exist in this house and beyond. So I would limit myself on just two small interventions which I have implemented as ILO in India. And for your kind information, ILO is like International Labour Organization. I'm sure most of you are aware, but just for the sake of information. And it's United Nations specialized agencies working in the area of world of work. And for us, farmers, and the role of farmers in sustainability of the workplace matters a lot. So from that perspective, this conference is very important and timely. And as I said, just two small interventions I would like to mention about enhancing the farmer's income. This was your main question, right? Farmer's income. So I have a little different perspective from farmer's point of view. How to empower the farmers. That's very important. Because yes, I'm not going to talk about different or important key elements in the entire supply chain of sustainability. I'll focus only on farmers here. Because I believe that empowering farmers will have a very critical and important role in enhancing income security or protecting their income or enhancing income itself. So from that perspective, we as ILO, we believe that there is need for unionizing farmers, especially when you are talking of marginal and small farmers. It's very important. And this is what I have seen in India in certain parts of this country, that farmers have not that kind of voice where they can be in a position to bargain with different stakeholders, especially those players in the supply chain of agriculture. So my first request and submission would be that there is a need to build the capacity of the farmers, and secondly, a proper institution in the labor market has to be there so that farmers get proper and adequate opportunity to bargain, to negotiate. And I can give a very concrete example to relate to this concept. Like when farmers are united in the form of cooperatives or in the form of different associations or federation of cooperatives, and that is why the government's initiative on cooperative very important and most desired thing. But when they are united as cooperatives or federation, I have seen the capacity of those associations or unions quite enhanced in terms of when they are bargaining or negotiating the prices of the products with the buyers. So when buyers are approaching farmers, and if you all who are into this field, if you build the capacity of the farmers, they will be in position to negotiate adequately, and therefore they would be in position to have better income. Secondly, I think there is a need of insurance. It's again very important element when we are talking of income protection or income enhancement of farmers, because insurance gives them certain kind of protection from financial loss. If it doesn't enhance income, at least it protects income of the farmers. And that is why insurance is much needed initiative of the government and also those players who are into very much in the field of. And why insurance is needed? There is additional factor because of the climate change. If you see, the farmers are at risk of losing their income, their money, due to this different risk posed by climate change. And if we encourage farmers to join different insurance schemes, at least they will be protected from losing their income, or they will not be at least spending extra money on any kind of challenges posed by nature or climate. Thank you.
Thank you, Ranjit ji. I think you made a very interesting point in taking the issue of unionization. This is something not exactly followed or heard of in, at least in agriculture part, much more in the organized sector, and it's unorganized sector as any other sector could be. Now, when we talk about unionization, you talked about cooperatives, then there is another model of FPOs also, farmer producer organization, and government has come up with this scheme of formation and promotion of 10,000 FPOs. And there has to be an FPO in every block of the country. And as of now, more than 8,800 FPOs have been registered under the scheme. And some of them are doing very well. But before I get into that, I would like to request Manish ji to throw some light. He's from Palladium, and I believe they are doing some wonderful work with FPOs in Odisha. They have been able to, export mangoes to London through a woman FPO. So I think his experience would enlighten us on, about the market linkages which the farmer can access to through FPOs, and the strength of FPO which can be leveraged by farmers in, another form of unionization, that is collective bargaining. So how can we benefit from that? Yeah.
Thank you everyone on the panel and the organizers here. I am Manish. I work for Palladium Consulting. It's a global impact consulting firm. We work across 90 countries and are in a position to bring a lot of good practices that are prevalent across the globe. We have been in this for last 60 years, and in India, we have just completed our 2 decades. We are implementing at this point in time more than 40 projects across India in agriculture, disaster management, economic growth, health, transport, urban governance, and climate change. I'm happy to be a part of this panel, which has kind of raised. So our topic concerns the market. So I'll first start with a case study, an example. So before I do that, let me refer to a study by Mr. Ramesh Chand, which was published sometime when the farm laws and its passing was it passed into a law and then subsequently repealed. That is when this study had appeared, and it had made a point, and it had said that, look, I mean, very soon we will need to export at least 1/3 of our produce. And if we are unable to produce efficiently and manage the logistics behind it, then we are going to create a crash in prices of several commodities in India, because we'll be kind of producing more than what we can consume over here. And that situation reflects into the increasing export that the India is doing of food products. And we are often the largest consumer, largest producers, largest consumers, and even at times largest exporter of some of the agri-commodities. Now, where I'm taking this conversation now is that market linkage is good, but how do you make sure that that particular aspect gets covered, which means that the surplus products do get efficiently transferred to offshore markets, which is, and therefore we wanted to kind of create a template, we wanted to kind of create an example and see what can be done there. So as under the project that we are working in Orissa is called the strengthening of PSFPO, we call it. So that is about, we are working with around 900 farm producer companies there. Government of Orissa has committed around 1,000 crore rupees over the next 5 years for nurturing these FPOs. We will be kind of helping to raise another 750 crores across Orissa based on the work that we will do with these 900 FPOs. We have been engaged with them for the last 3 years, and this is the second phase of our program. And what we have achieved in the second phase in early stages is the exports that we have been able to manage from here. So these are early days, these are green shoots, but my case study basically goes to, so basically there is this organization called Mahila Pragati Farmer Producer Company Limited, which is in Raigada district in Orissa, and it has around 1900 members. And they have, we have kind of helped them export their mangoes to London and Italy. And the entire process is very different from what we do when we do market linkages locally, right? So I'll come to the process in a moment, but let's see what has it given to our farmers. So if the farm gate price was 25 rupees a kg, that has now gone up to, so if it was between 25 to 32, now it has gone up to 52 to 80 rupees per kg. And this kind of a upside can only happen if you are able to connect to the export markets. And for connecting to the export markets, you have a lot of impediments in the way that you need to kind of circumvent or need to kind of negotiate. So 40 to 60% is the upside on the prices itself, right? So let us see what all we did with them, what were the impediments, how we went about circumventing those problems to eventually kind of get our farmers this kind of an upside on the price. So the first thing was that, and I'm talking specifically about mangoes. So here there was no desapping done ever. So first we kind of trained our farmers in plucking it well, and then also desapping it. Desapping ensures that there is no mark or there is no blemish left on the skin of the fruit, which is very important if we are trying to export it. Then the next stage was that we need to kind of package it in a certain manner, and we take it all the way to a place like Kolkata, where someone from our team will keep an eye on the whole consignment, that nothing gets nothing goes wrong with that. Yeah. So here we were able to quickly, so I'll quickly summarize. So there we were able to put we did the SAP part got cleared. There's a hot water treatment that needs to be done at the airport. So we did that. And then after that, it is packaged in a certain manner and then it flies off from there. APEDA helped us a lot in doing this, and with their help, we were able to create this entire chain. Now we are planning to scale it in the next couple of years. So I'll stop here, and if there are any questions later, then I can take them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manishi. I think we have been given the signal we are a little short on time. So, well, what I'll request my other co-panelists is to be brief. And Anuradha ji is from Center for Entrepreneurship Development, Government of Madhya Pradesh. They have got their own incubation center. So I think that is a great way for for capacity building of the farmers and FPOs as their beneficiaries. So if you can throw some light, how is her experience and what challenges they have faced?
Thank you so much, Mr. Gautam. And thank you so much, Navneet ji, for conducting this wonderful program and for inviting us. I had been listening to all the speakers since morning, and all the learned speakers have spoken so well, from technology, climate change to almost everything. And the topic, the panel which we are having is, of course, as Mr. Gautam said, farming for profit and connecting them with the fair market. So, since morning we are deliberating on sustainability. So what exactly the sustainability and for whom? So in my view, it is basically for sustainability for climate, sustainability for farmer, and sustainability for the customer. For climate, we have already deliberated enough. I don't want to speak anything on that. Farmer, as Mr. Shankar and Mr. Gautam has said, that doubling the farmer's income and getting the best price for the farmers is the mandate. That is the sustainability for the farmers. And third, for the customer, because they should get safe food, because that is the sustainability for them, and of course at the best price. Now, I'm not an expert on agriculture. Probably I'm the person who knows least on agriculture. But during my course of work, I had the opportunity of mentoring some 1200 plus agripreneurs and handholding them in the state of Madhya Pradesh. So I learned a lot from them, and they were my teachers. I saw two sets of people. One set of people who migrated from farm to non-farm sector, and another set of people who were from non-farm sector, who were highly educated from the top-notch colleges and institutes world over, and they migrated to the farming sector. So that was a very interesting case study for me, that why few people migrated from non-farming, non-agriculture to agri sector, and some from agri to non-agri sector. And those agripreneurs about whom I'm talking, they all belong to the farming background. Their parents were farmers. They had land, though they were mostly small and marginal farmers. But they had they were doing they were pursuing their degree in agriculture and allied sector. But they had strict order from their parents that don't you dare come to the village. You have to go out of the village and you have to do something else. Why? Because they felt that agriculture is not sustainable. Now, I am coming from a stream where livelihood is my major area. So the domain on which I am working is livelihood, entrepreneurship development. Center for Entrepreneurship Development has been working on entrepreneurship. And we feel that creating an entrepreneurship, making an entrepreneur is not a big job, but sustaining the entrepreneur is very important. As Mr. Shankar said, that giving the right market linkage is very important for them. Now, look at the volume of the farmers which we have. Probably SFAC would be in a better position to tell the exact number of farmers, some 20 plus CR farmers across India, or more than that? 14 crores. In direct agriculture, and if I include allied sector, it will probably double it. So somewhere around 30 crores. So now we have the best of the technologies. We want to involve the technologies. I mean, the pre-harvest and post-harvest. We are dividing the whole agriculture into pre-harvest and post-harvest. So in pre-harvest, from technology integration to diversified cropping pattern to integrated agriculture, each and everything, it is like we are teaching everybody to construct the homes, to construct the cars. I was just wondering that, I mean, it is just a thought for all of us to deliberate. Could be a solution for future. Can we have some sort of convergence between the startups, FPOs, and the large professional companies who are already established in the agri-tech, in the agri-input, I mean the pre-harvest and the post-harvest harvest sector. And those companies could professionally manage all the land of the farmers so that the farmer get the best price and the professionally managed farm, because finally what he wants is the best price for his crop. Eventually he can also work for the company and can get skilled in one of the job roles, and we can have skilled manpower in agri and allied sectors, but working very professionally. This could be one of the options. Another model could be government coming up with a cluster model. Cluster, in a way, we can have some sort of large post-harvest infrastructure, because right now what is happening, farmer is going to mandi or some other place, either he is relying on the MSP or he is selling in the open market, but finally what he sells is the primary produce. And we all know that if he is able to add value to it, he'll get better price. So how can he add value? Because we are talking about the small and marginal farmers who do not have the scale to value add it and who do not have the scale to link with the market. So if we can have a sort of cluster in which the government provides different sort of agripreneurs, I'll call them agripreneurs only. So some are into sorting, just to take an example, for example, wheat we are taking, for example. So some are into sorting, other one is into grading, other one is into further processing. Likewise, we can have different grades. In this way, traceability is also ensured. So when the farmer comes with his truckload of wheat and he gets it graded, sorted, he knows that what is the price, and the traceability is fixed that this wheat is coming from this particular market. And if he intends, he can get that price for the wheat, whatever it is, and then the same wheat is further transferred to the processor. Now, what I intend to say is why the cost of wheat is less and the cost of flour is high, because the working capital is involved. Here we are not involving the working capital of a private investor, but they are working as job worker. So we can have some sort of industries, and it could be a PPP model. We could have a cluster of independent private investors who are investing in the machine and infra, and they are getting assured business, and they are getting a fixed price for the job work they are doing, but they do not have any burden on them to sell it on the market, in the market, and to invest in the inventory, raw material, working capital. So with a common branding, so here we are having a common branding. This way we are ensuring the traceability, the quality, and since these people are getting assured amount for a particular job work, there is no need to, contaminate it or do some sort of mixing with inferior material. So this could be a remote option which need to be fine-tuned. We are in discussion with the government of Madhya Pradesh on implementing this model on pilot basis. So this will eventually increase enterprises also and the livelihood also, which is one of the major concern, and will ensure the best price for the farmers, because he will get paid at the end of the day. Suppose in 18 rupees he's selling the wheat, and 2 rupees the processor is getting, 2 rupees the packaging person is getting, 2 rupees the marketing person is getting, and it is being sold at 40 rupees. So the remaining profit comes back to the farmer. And the coordinator, whosoever is coordinating, will again get a margin. But finally the price is coming back to the farmer. So this could be one of the model in which the farmer is getting the best price. This is a model which can be fine-tuned. And the other, as I said, the professional farm management company who can professionally manage the farms across, and they will also pool the land. These are few thoughts. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Anuradha ji. Now we have Prakash ji with us. He's a progressive farmer from Yavatmal. I think he was the among the first lot of farmers who experimented with BT cotton way back in 2002. So I think his on मतलब आपका जो experience है.
मैं प्रकाश बापुराव पुप्पलवार, मैं यवतमाल से हूँ और यहाँ पे दिल्ली में एक सुसाइड बेल्ट करके जाना जाता है, जो मुझे बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं लगता। तो मैं 2002 में जब पहली बार बीटी कॉटन लगाया तो मेरे घर वालों ने मुझे बहुत विरोध किया, लेकिन तब मैं बहुत यंग था और कुछ नया करने का सोच रहा था। लेकिन घर वालों के विरोध के बावजूद जब मैंने लगाया, पहले क्योंकि मैं पेपर में पढ़ा था अच्छा बीज है तो मैंने लगाया। उसके बाद में आज मेरे गांव में सभी किसान वही बीज लगाते हैं। ये बहुत गलत बात है कि बीटी कपास की वजह से किसान आत्महत्या कर रहा है, क्योंकि हाँ, जब हमको फसल ज़्यादा हुई तब हमको दाम कम मिला, और जब फसल कम होती है तो दाम ज़्यादा मिलता है लेकिन प्रॉफिट उतना ही रहता है। ये बेसिक चीज़ है। उसके बाद मैंने हमारे गांव में एक ग्रुप है तो हमने कुछ बदलाव किए। पानी बहुत कम था तो ड्रिप इरिगेशन किया, करंट की समस्या थी तो सोलर एनर्जी से पानी देने का काम कर रहे हैं। छोटे किसान हैं तो छोटे छोटे इम्प्लीमेंट्स लेके खेत में काम करते हैं, और एक किसान दूसरे किसान के यहाँ काम करने जाता है तो खर्चा बच जाता है, प्रॉफिट बढ़ जाता है। ये सही बात है कि ज़मीन सॉइल हेल्थ कम हो रहा है, क्लाइमेट चेंज का इफ़ेक्ट सबसे पहले खेती पे हो रहा है, लेकिन आप सभी लोग यहाँ पे बैठे सभी जानकार लोग हैं। आपकी जानकारी ऑथेंटिक तरीके से हम तक पहुँची तो कुछ गलत नहीं होगा। आज सोशल मीडिया का उपयोग किसान कर रहे हैं, लेकिन इसमें बुवाबाजी का स्तोम बढ़ गया है। अनऑथेंटिक जानकारी रूट तक बहुत अनऑथेंटिक जानकारी आ रही है, उसके वजह से भी नुकसान बढ़ रहा है। किसान और प्रयोग में लग जाता है। प्रयोग करना किसान का काम है क्या, ऐसा लग रहा है, क्योंकि प्रयोग विद्यापीठ में होने चाहिए, साइंटिस्ट करना चाहिए और ऑथेंटिक किसान तक आना चाहिए, क्योंकि किसान का भी प्रयोग करने में 1-2 साल चला जाएगा तो निश्चित रूप से प्रॉफिट कम होगा। ये बात पे भी हमें सोचना है। हम जैसे मल्चिंग और एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ करके एक 2 एकड़ का किसान भी 3 महीने में 2 लाख कमा सकता है। ये हमारे गांव में हमने करके दिखाया है। आदिवासी जो छोटे किसान हैं जिनको समझ नहीं है, उनको हम गाइड करके उनका भी प्रॉफिट हमने बढ़ाया है। जो अभी इसके पहले सेशन में छोटे किसान कैसे सर्वाइव करेंगे, इसका उदाहरण हमारा गांव है। तो यहाँ पे ग्रे मैटर्स, एग्री पोस्ट और आप सबने हमें मौका दिया बोलने का, इसलिए हम सब आपके धन्यवाद है। और मैं मेरी बात खत्म करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद प्रकाश जी। सर अगर 1 मिनट का समय अगर आप और दे पाएँ तो मैं, हाँ जी धन्यवाद सर। सर बाकी सब ने अपने सबके विचार सुन लिए। एक मैं ONDC के बारे में बताना चाहूँगा। यहाँ पे ओपन नेटवर्क फॉर डिजिटल कॉमर्स, ये मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स का इनिशिएटिव है। उसमें 7300 से ज़्यादा FPO रजिस्टर्ड हैं और FPO के जो प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, अगर आप उनकी वेबसाइट पे जाएंगे तो 2000 से ज़्यादा प्रोडक्ट्स हैं उनके। वो लगभग पिछले 4-5 महीने में 2 करोड़ से ज़्यादा का बिजनेस कर चुके हैं। और अगर आप जाएंगे वहाँ पे तो आपको मतलब जो भी एग्री प्रोड्यूस है, चाहे वो बिस्किट्स ले लीजिए, प्रोसेस्ड आप हनी ले लीजिए, आटा, दाल, मतलब घर के आपके जो भी किचन के आइटम्स हैं, जो भी आपको है वो सब अवेलेबल है वहाँ पे। तो मेरी गुजारिश यही है कि आप सब लोग जाके कृपया करके ONDC पे FPOs का प्रोडक्ट देखें। वो क्वालिटी वाइज भी अच्छा है और अगर आप खरीदेंगे तो प्राइस भी कम रहेगा और हमारे किसानों को उससे मदद होगी। तो थैंक यू सो मच। थैंक यू सर।